I think your first question, do we still have a problem with race in South Africa, needs to be answered with a very firm yes, we do. Um, People may be surprised to see me as a white person talking about these issues, but obviously, most of the issues around race have been perpetrated by white people in South Africa. So I think it's important that we do get our voice heard and try and overcome some of the terrible things that we were guilty of during the apartheid era. But in terms of Gayton Mckenzie, I mean, this to me smacks of the most grotesque hypocrisy. Having looked at so many of those tweets, and not only the one where he uses the K word, but others which are equally vile and reprehensible, I really do think that it's very surprising that we have him as a minister. And to have him as a minister of sport and culture seems even more obscene.
Yeah.
I mean, sport is probably one of the main things that can bring us together as South Africans, and culture too. And then to have somebody whose history reveals such abhorrent statements really makes no sense. And it also makes me wonder to what extent are people's backgrounds looked into when they're appointed into these very important positions. You would think that at the very least they would have somebody in Parliament to go through all their back work on social media. Or is it just a question of how they're coming across at the moment that matters? I think this has done great damage to us as a country. And I think if Gayton Mckenzie is really the man that I'm sure he could be and wants to be, the proper thing for him to do would be to resign,
Yeah.
not to step aside, not to have special leave where he still gets paid, but to actually resign and start again.